Before we get into the video, here's a quick shout out to Oyoa.com, our sponsor. If you don't want to grind for items, runes, and you want armor real quick, then you can get it from these stalwart champions. And by using the code in the description, you can get 3% off. Remember, Guru. Greetings, Elden Ring Guru here, and today I'm going to show you how to be a complete tank against the Elden Beast, making his attacks feel more like mere pebbles. I'll show you where to get all the armor pieces, buffs, and items that I'll be using later in the video. But for now, let's just see what they can do. As soon as the fight starts, we'll want to use our two most powerful buffs to protect against his many holy attacks. The first of which being the Lord's Divine Fortification. This reduces holy damage by 60% and lasts for around 70 seconds. The good thing about this incantation is that it stacks with Golden Vow, which we'll be using next. Golden Vow increases your attack and defense stats, so it will increase your protection against all of the beast's attacks, including an extra boost to your holy negation as well. The shield that we will be using is the Haligtree Crest Great Shield, as when it's upgraded using the Sanctified Wet Blade, will push its holy damage negation to an impressive 98.75%. This makes tanking all of his attacks possible, especially as its physical damage negation will be 95% too, so you'll only suffer chip damage at best when blocking any of his attacks. On top of these, we have a specific concoction in our Flask of Wondrous Physic, mixing together the Opaline Hard tier, which grants 15% to all elemental damage negation for 3 minutes, so even more protection from his holy attacks, with the Opaline Bubble tier, which significantly reduces damage taken from the next hit, so you're protective even if you make a bumble and get hit. As you can see, all of these together protects us against pretty much anything he throws at us. You can get up close and personal with the Fiend, and use whatever your weapon of choice is to safely take him down. Let's check out some of his other moves, so you can see how our all-powerful build handles them. The Exploding Purple Mist can be blocked easily thanks to the shield. And if you have a decent stamina bar, his 4 holy projectiles can be tanked in one go as well. His holy homing jizz attack can even be absorbed, with only a small amount of HP being lost when taking every last drop of it. Disgusting. And his large sweeping holy slash can be easily blocked without taking any damage too. Up close you'll be just as strong. His sword attacks are no danger thanks to the shield, and as it has strong holy negation, you'll be protected from the holy sword moves also. This also applies to any of the explosions he can perform when you are next to him. The shield, armor, and buffs are the main reasons for this, but it's also helped by the talismans that I'm using as well. We have the Haligtree Talisman plus 2 version equipped, which reduces damage taken from holy attacks by 20%. Next we have the plus 2 Pearl Drake Talisman, which reduces damage from non-physical damage types, such as holy, by another 9%. The third one is the O Lord's Talisman. This increases the duration of spells by 30%, so our incantations will last much longer, meaning you won't have to keep track of when they wear off as often. And the fourth one is the Dragon Crest Shield Talisman. This reduces damage taken from physical attacks by 17%. For the armor, I've chosen the individual pieces with the most holy damage negation, as the bulk of the Elden Beast attacks are holy based, so it's better to have high protection in this over physical damage negation. For the helm we have the Great Hood, which has a 6.2 protection stat from holy attacks. The chest piece is the Crucible Tree Armor, which offers 14.5 holy damage protection. For the gauntlets we have the Godskin Apostle Bracelets, which have 3.6 holy damage negation. And for the legs we have the Tree Sentinel Greaves, which gives 8.1 protection from holy attacks. The locations for the talismans are as follows. You can find the Haligtree plus 2 talisman in Mogwyn Palace. From the Palace Approach Ledge Road Grace Site, follow the path down into the Blood River. You can pick it up off a corpse surrounded by gravestones. Just be careful for the nameless white mask invader that you'll trigger on the way to it. The plus 2 Pearl Drake Talisman can be found in Miquella's Haligtree. From the Haligtree Town Grace, head outside and up the ladder. Jump the gap at the top to the platform across to find it on another corpse guarded by an enemy. The O Lord's Talisman is located inside a chest in crumbling Farum Azula. from beside the Great Bridge Grace site, head up the stairs and go in the opposite direction of the boss room. You'll eventually come to a tower with the chest inside. Be careful, however, as when you get too close, you will awaken a group of lazy enemies who will try to stop you from opening the chest and taking that precious talisman. The last one, the Dragon Crest Shield Talisman, can be found in the northern section of crumbling Farum Azula. Starting from the Dragon Temple altar, follow my lead and run past all the enemies to the bridge that is broken into pieces. You'll find the talisman on the smallest floating rock at the bottom. The armor pieces can be found in the following locations. The Great Hood is located in the mountaintops of the Giants. You'll have to go to Castle Sol first, so from the Church of the Eclipse Grace site, follow the path until you get to a room with a ladder. Inside you'll find a painting. Examine it, as we will have to now go find the location of the painting in the world to get the Great Hood. Luckily we don't have to travel far to find it. So from the Castle Sol main gate, make your way to the nearby bridge, where you'll find a ghoul admiring the view. The same view that we saw in the painting. When you get close to him, you will atomize, and the Great Hood will appear as a reward. The Crucible Tree Armor can be found in the Deep Root Depths region, which you can get to by resting in a coffin after defeating the valiant gargoyle bosses in the Chauffeur Aqueduct. From the Deep Root Depths Grace site, follow the route past all the enemies, drop off the cliff at the end, and head around the side of the building to go up the Spirit Spring Jump. Up here you'll find the optional boss, Crucible Knight Siluria, guarding the chest that contains the Crucible Knight tree armor set. You can just run past and open the chest quickly before you get donked. Next up is the reward for the Godskin Apostle Bracelets. These can be found at the bottom of the Divine Tower of Caelid as a reward for killing the Godskin Apostle boss. So from the basement side of Grace, head into the boss room and take him out for the armor. The final piece of the armor is the Tree Sentinel Greaves, which are located in the Oriza hero's grave. You'll have to make your way past all the chariots and to the bottom of the dungeon, where you'll find a pillar spewing fire. Hit the pillar and then teleport back to the side of Grace. When you visit the main room again with the 3 chariots, they will now crash into each other, and you'll be given the Tree Sentinel armor set as a reward. And now for the location of the all-powerful incantations. Golden Vow can be found at Mount Gelmir, inside the Corpse Stench Shack. From the Bridge of Iniquity, Grace site, follow the way to the shack to pick up the spell on a stinking corpse inside. You'll get invaded by Anastasia, Tarnished Eater, when you get close to it, so come prepared. You can get the Lord's Divine Fortification by speaking to Gideon Ofnir, after finding the Miquella's Haligtree location. You have to ask him about the Haligtree routes to receive the spell. Sometimes the dialogue option might not appear unless you kill Melania, Blade of Miquella, first. If it still doesn't appear, then you can buy it from the Twin Maiden husks at the Round Table Hold after killing Malekith, the Black Blade. The 2 items for the Flask of Wondrous Physic can be found in the following places. The Opaline Hard Tier is a reward for killing the Putrid Avatar in northeastern Caelid. The Opaline Bubble Tier is also a reward for killing the Erd Tree Avatar in the Weeping Peninsula beneath the Minor Erd Tree. And finally, we'll take a look at the stats that you'll have to use all of the equipment and spells. You'll need 36 strength to wield the Haligtree Crest Great Shield effectively, and the minimum faith that you'll need to use the incantations is 27. On top of this, I'd recommend at least 40 points in endurance to help tank the multiple hits from the boss. And as all of the armor pieces weigh in at 34.4, you'll still want a medium equipment load to help with your mobility in the fight. And put as many points into Arcane as you can, at least 60, as it's the stat that levels up your holy defense the most. As this is the last boss, respec if you have to. If you want to make it an easy fight, that is. And that's everything you need to know to take on the boss with no problems. If you still can't beat him after this, then you're a lost cause. Subscribe, and click the bell icon for more boss guides and a plethora of other Elden Ring content, including a rage playthrough by the other guy on the channel that sucks at games. You'll love it. You got the Sword of Ice. I've got the Sword of Flame War. Die! I didn't count on the earth and the water!